So welcome back to Coding Made Easy Academy. Today we are going to be solving these past questions on CSE 123 2020 to 2021. CSE123, which is fundamentals of data structures. Now I'll be skipping question 1A because you can do that already. It says, let's just start from the beginning. It says the table below is represented of the table below is a representation of a linked list. A linked list. In computer's memory, draw the graphical representation of the linked list. That's one question. So this is where your own task assignment will be coming in. If I'm to begin to draw now, it will take a lot of time to complete this video. So now I'll see try to see if I can do that even in a separate video. Now let's move over to B. Still the same question, still the same table. Question B says, write a Java code snippet to sum up the data in the linked list. So you say write a Java code snippet to sum up the data in the linked list. Now where are the data in the linked list? The table you are seeing is based on the linked list, right? Now the data that I'm talking about is the 50, 86, 40, and 15 that's over there. So if I'm to go, all you have to do to solve this problem, like I always say, go to your code editor. Android users can search for JVDroid, JStudio, generally code editor. While for iPhone users, same code editor, and just like that. Sorry, Java compiler, not code editor. Don't mind me. Java compiler for Android users and phone users. But for Android users specifically, the one I'm using is JVDroid. There's another one, JStudio, JStudio. Right? There are so many out there actually. So that's why I say search for Java compiler. You get a whole bunch of them. So if we run this code, we'll get an error. It's taking time because I'm just reading it for the first time. Now you can see it's not as though it's a serious error, just like a default. If you want to even fix it, right? So let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of this. No matter what I do here, is going to keep on showing error. So to get rid of this, the reason it is showing this error is because by default we have something called JVM, which stands for Java Virtual Machine. When it loads, it searches for a function called main. So it is that function it is concerned with. If it doesn't see that function, it's going to return an error. So, but as usual, when coding in Java, the first thing you want to do is to create a class, right? So let's quickly do that. We'll say class. So we can name it anything. Let's just say main. Then so we succeeded in creating a class. This is how you create a class. From line 1 to line 3 is a class. Now I'll do a video on the essence of class. Why do we need a class? I'll do a practical demonstration of what class does. I'll use it to create a sprite, like a game character. Very easy to compare the difference between using classes. Is a new way of coding nowadays, professional way. We have a procedure code, so it has override that way. So most people don't code that way anymore. They make use of class, which are the object-oriented programming style. So let's just proceed anyway, because what I'm saying might not make sense to you, but it's going to make sense later on. So now this is the class, right? Now let's create the function. Like I said, the name of the function the computer is concerned with. What type of function are we trying to return? Let's say void, right? So the reason why I'm using void, I don't want to return anything. So if I was to use something like int, then I'll be saying return later. Let me just do it here. Void. Then let me give it a name. Like I said, I can give it any name. I can say send email. I can have this. Yes, this is a function. I can have another function which says send SMS. Now this is another function. You can see these are two functions right now. I can change the type of one. I can say int. So if I'm to do this, meaning I have to put a return type here. meaning I'm returning something. But in that case, this case is not what I want. For sake of demo, we can try it out anyway, just for us to see. But what I'm concerned with right now, if we are to run this, it's going to still return an error. Return an error. So let's create. Why? Because the computer, when it loads by default, is searching for the function that has the name main. The name of this function starting from line 6 to line 8. The name of it is what? Send SMS. From line 10 to line 11, the name of that function is called what? Send email. So we have one class and two functions. The computer does not recognize all these functions we have created ourselves. These are user created functions. So so if we are to correct this error, we have to create a actual class, an actual function the computer understand. So the name of that function is main, main with a small letter m. Oh, sorry, you have to change this to capital letter M. You cannot name your class. Your class, of basically the naming convention for naming classes is with capital letter. You cannot name your class same as your function or a variable. You cannot name a variable the same as give your variable the same name as your class or a function. That's one rule you have to follow. So if we are to run this, it's still going to show us error. Now, won't the error ever sit up? No, it won't. It will, yes, but until you get things right. So inside of this function, it's this type of function. Now we are succeeded in creating the function the computer recognize, which is starting from line 5 to line 7, and the name of that function is main with a small letter m. So the computer now recognizes this function, but there are some parameters that's missing in this function. Now, to solve this problem, we have to put those parameters, and the parameters is simply the string argument, rather the command line argument. So we'll say string. Now, if we do this, we are going to get an error. You may wonder, where is the error still coming from? Let's try it. We're still getting error, right? Though there are several things that's causing the error, but one thing you need to know, this string here, the s is not a small letter s, it's a capital letter S. So I deliberately did that. So it is capital letter S because this string here is a class and fast, right? Don't worry, all these things will make sense to you later on, but just get it like this. This is how it is. We can just get rid of all this in order not to confuse you for now. Let me just paste it somewhere. Wow, somewhere else. There's a lot of code. My God, I've missed the other one. Because so to solve this now, even if we run it right now, we are still getting this error. Now we've created a class, right? We've created a function. Now when the computer run, it's searching for the function called main. Now when it's searching for this function, it's not just searching for this function as a function, it is searching for it as a method. You might think, oh, they actually used to be a public here. That might be the cause. Okay, let's try it. So we still get the error. So the public is has nothing to do with what is causing the error. I'll actually explain what the public is. Everything you see, main, void, string args, they all have their meaning and purpose. Static, they all have their meaning and purpose. Even if you have to say, okay, let's complete it by putting static here as well, we are still going to get the same errors. So when the computer run, is going to run from top to bottom, searching for this function, for the function that have the name what? Main. So when it find, and not just the name main, when a function that have this exact structure, starting from here, main, and it has these exact parameters, right? So when it runs, it's searching for that function, but it's not searching for it as a function. It is searching for it as a method. Now, what is a method? The difference between a method and a function. This right now, it is a function. It's a function because what? Sorry, because it is written outside of a class. This is a class from line 1 to line 3. It's a class. So it is written outside the class boundary. So it is a function. Why? All we have to do now for this to work is to cut this and paste it inside of the class. Now it is no longer a function, it is now a method. It is now a method. So what is a method basically then? With this illustration, you can now understand the concept and define a method. A method is a function that is written inside of a class. Hope you are recording. Yeah. A method is a function written inside of a class. Now let's run this and see. You can see it's working right now compared to before. Now I can also let me try. I can get rid of everything from here. Now if you want us to fix this, the reason for this is what I won't explain now. I will explain it in the next video which I spoke about the class. So ensure to watch that video if really you want to learn. There's a question that came out about classes which I'm going to do in depth at least it to an extent. So ensure you watch it. So now public, let's run this without the static. You still get the same errors. So you have to ensure you watch that video by the time I do it. Everything you see here, they all have their meaning. That's why you should not fail to understand the reason and the purpose of each of these characters here. Some students will be asking questions on them, so ensure to watch the video on classes. So now let's proceed. A function is a whatever it is, but it is written outside the class boundary. But a method is a function that is written inside of a class. So when the computer, the JVM runs, Java Virtual Machine, it searches for the main method. When we say main method, it's searching for a method that have the name main. So if it is a send email method, it's looking for what? A send email method. So in this case, we have our main method, right? Now the question says, I'm not supposed to be explaining this. You should know this by now. So the question says, write a Java code snippet that write a Java code snippet that sum the data in the linked list. Now let's create this linked list. Now please take note of this. The question said linked list. It didn't say array list. It didn't say array. Neither did it say stock. It said linked list. It didn't say queue. So take note of that. So let's create this table right now. So first I'll say list, then do this 50, 86, 40, 15. Now you can't create this. Many of you will do this. 50, right? 50, 86, 40, 15. 50, 86, 86, 40, then 15. This is what many people will do. This is wrong. This is as it is right now as an array, but it is still not complete. You have to do this if you really wanted to convert it to an array. Then include the type, right? So if you run this, you don't get errors. So this is an array, but this is not what they ask you to do. So this is an array, just to show you the difference. This is actually an array of numbers or integers. So let me create another one, linked list. So we have the same list. Okay, let me just say list 2. So in this case, we'll say new array list, then do this, specify the type. Now you can see it's showing this stuff at the down, meaning I have to import this. This is a class, that's why it is showing that. So it's showing me, giving me these errors right now. So you're getting integer, they have to come here and say list, capital letter. So it's still going to show that error unless I import. So if I'm to import now, I'll say import. The former video was at least, I don't know if it was better. I can't even recall how detailed I did it. I know I did it much better, but this one seems fast than the other. Nevertheless, import java.ut.arrays array list. That's the first thing you import. Come over here, import java.util.list. So if you run this, right? Okay, we're not done. It needs to be the same over here. Not, please take note, it is not int. If you put int here, it doesn't recognize it. Let's try it out. If we run this, we get an error, right? So let me change this. No, we have the two type of data, primitive and non-primitive. This int here is under primitive, while this one I want to write is under non-primitive. So that is why it starts with a capital letter I. Please take note of that. So what goes in here is a primitive, non-primitive data type. If it was a string, it will be string. If it was a boolean, it will be boolean with a capital letter B, just like that. If it was a double, capital letter D. So in this case, integer. So let's run this now, so we don't get any errors anymore. Now let's do a system.out. System, so we can see what is going on. System.out. System. Remember the S is capital letter. So system.out.print new line. So I'll say I want to print a list. In this case, I can't. You see what is going to show. We'll get a very strange value. Very strange value, yeah. So you don't print a array. This, remember, this list is what for this 96, and they say what an array. This one is an array list. Array list. This, I have to comment this. So you don't print an array just like that. To print an array, you have to make use of a special array class. So we'll say arrays dot to string I totally don't know what I'm doing anymore. It has been several years since I could. So let's run this. We get this error. It's actually arrays. Let's see. Arrays. No, this is not arrays. Let me check. Pause. Let me check. Say need. Wait. Oh, my array is missing. I'm so frustrated. I'm not frustrated though. It's just that a lot of tasks I'm thinking about to meet up with this whole thing, and engineering students still have theirs I have to cover. They're having their own exam as well. So arrays dot to string. Let's try that now. Yep, now it's working. 50, 86, 40, 50, 15. Let's see if it corresponds with our question. Okay, it does. 50, 86, 40, 15. Yeah. So this is not what they said you should do. This is just what, if it was an array, this is what you will do. What you have at line 8. If it was a linked list, this is what you will do. Get linked list. If it was yeah, now for the link, sorry, if it was an array list, this is what you do. Correct myself. Array list. Now for the linked list, which we were actually asked to do, linked list. Now you say list 3, then specify the type. This is an instance of the link class. Specify the type will be at this point. All these things, I think there's one thing I don't like when I'm coding is when there's a lot of confusing code, or even a lot of code in my work. Let me cut this out since you don't need it for now. I'll just paste it here, put it under a comment, call on it when we need it. So at least let our code look simple. So what type of list do you want to calculate? Is it a string? Is it a boolean? Is it an integer? So in this case, it's an integer. So say integer, instance of this class, then linked list. So integer as well, integer, then do this. So sorry, I need to attend to something. Sorry, I have something I have to attend to. So let's go. What is this? Okay, this is it. So let's check what we've done so far. We started by, can just leave it. Let's just see. So we imported the array class, the array list, the list. Now one more that's left. They asked us to solve for linked list, not arrays class, not array list, neither is it a list. Uh, Array list. So to solve this, we'll say import java.util dot link list. This is what they actually asked us to do, linked list. And you can see that pop-up is not coming up anymore because now we've imported the class for the library, so we can see. So the same, notice the same spelling we have here, linked list. So also we have here, then the type, put the type in here. So what we are doing basically in line, for those who have learned instantiation of a class, we are creating an object of the class. The name of this class is what? Linked list. So we have instantiated this class, which is what? List 3. So if we run our code now, I don't think we're going to be getting any errors, which we coming from where? Linked list. Oh, we cut it out. So let me get rid of this. Let me just comment this. So if I'm to comment this, now we get no errors. Now, why was it showing errors before? Remember in the line 12, we are saying we want to print out a array called list, and we don't have that array anymore because I removed it, which is what we have here. So instead of me printing a array, I'll print out, let me actually call this a list because this is what they asked us to do, list. So let's see, basically empty. Now we've succeeded in creating, we don't need all these, we can put them in a separate example code. Let me just paste it somewhere here, paste. So this let me paste this too. For some people doesn't know what comment is, they might think comment is one, I have a purpose here. So let me just get rid of it as well. So now we have our code. We have the fully class we're importing here is what? Java.util.linked We have our class, the main class, our main method. We created our object, which is list, and we are printing it out. Now our list is basically empty right now. Let's begin to add item to our list. To add, we've created our linked list right now. We need to add item. We say list.add. So what's the first item that was given? Is actually 5086. Okay, so 50, then list add. This is how you do it. List add again, 86 semicolon, list add, list dot add parenthesis, let's see, what was that? 40 then 15. Okay, so 40, then list add, and list dot add parenthesis, then 15, yeah, 15. So if I'm to run this now, you see all these numbers in our arrays just like before. So it is now looking like, you can see all we have done this in 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 line of code. If we were to do this in just array, you see we just made use of one line of code and to give us the same result, but you can't compare the advantages, right? So to continue, now we've succeeded in creating our uh, array list. It's just like the table. So this is what we have here, the array list. So they say write a Java code snippet to sum up the data, sum them up. So to sum them up, what we have to do, if we go back, is to create a for loop. A for loop that will sum everything up individually. I've done a video on why what is a for loop. Yeah, I've done a video on for loop normally. They are in the group, not in the YouTube channel. So I don't know how. Okay, basically, let me just explain what a for loop does actually. But in this case, we will actually need a for loop. Let me just do that first. Let me do that first. So a for loop, we'll say for. So this is the for loop structure basically. Let's see. And close parentheses, close curly brace. Yeah. So this is how a for loop look like. The structure not complete here though. It takes in argument and parameter. So I'll say int argument or parameter int I. I is not a constant. I can name it anything. J, I can name it C, but most time we use I. Is popular because I stands for integration, and which is basically what we are doing. So I is less than, what's the numbers of data we have in this linked list? 4, right? So I'll say I is less than 4. So semicolon I plus plus. And this is the structure of a for loop. This is how it works. This is how a for loop work. You say for parentheses, then curly braces, opening and closing, right? So in between the curly braces, it takes 3 arguments. The first one is the integration element. You create a counter variable, which is I, and then you create a statement that if it is if I is less than or greater than, or if I is less than if I is less than or equal to, or if I is greater than or equal to, and then you put a semicolon, end every argument with a semicolon, not a comma. That's why this is not really most time an argument. It's a more like a parameter. So but never there's an argument though. Then you add your I plus plus. So now to all I have to do now is to create a new variable called sum. A new variable called sum. Why do we need that? Equate it to 0 or initialize it to 0. Now in this place I'll call for sum. I'll say plus equal to whatever the numbers that are inside of my linked list are. So I'll say list dot, can't do that, dot get. So I'll put in I here. This is what I have to do basically. This is just what I have to do. Then if I come over here and I'll take system.out, system.out, cut it out, paste it outside the for loop. So instead of printing the entire array list, I'm going to print out sum. Not array list, rather, sorry, linked list. I'm going to print out sum. So this is how you make use of the for loop. Let's try this and see how it does, what it does basically. Now if you were to punch your calculator, you added all these things manually, you're going to get 191. So let's see. So we get 191, meaning our code is working. This is just what they asked you to do. This is the solution to question 1b. This is the solution. Import java.ut the linked list, create your class, create your method, create the linked list itself, add these data to it, 50, 86, 40, 15. So then you make use of a for loop. Now you can see how simple it is now with us making use of a for loop, right? This is where the for loop curly braces end. This is the main method. This is for the for loop, just for the sake of pure beginners. For loop. So I don't think I have to write this. So this is what you need to know. So what if it was for an array? If it was on an array, all I have to do is very simple. let me just copy and paste from array, right? Copy, cut. So let me cut let me copy, let me comment out this array list. So to the computer, all what that inside the array list is not existing. So since now we have an array, no longer an array list, this is an array. So you can see everything that is happening here from line 9 to line 12. So it's hard for me to control because I'm charging with electricity at the same time. So we are doing it inside of one line. Now to do this, all I have to do, the only thing I have to change here is this get, or what we have at line 21. I'll just say list, then this is what I have to do, and that is all. That's the difference between an array list and an array. So if we are to run this, we get an error from somewhere. Let's see, system data the print sum. Oh, get rid of, but this is supposed not to affect. Let me check again. Copy, list, then let's run it one more time. List, let's pay very good attention here. That's what's wrong. We have list. Oh, we are having the same name. Remember the rule I gave you, don't name your variable twice, don't repeat the process. So I have to change, like either I comment this. If I comment this, we're going to have our code running now. So get 191, which is same as before, like what we did here. Let me comment this. So sum plus equal to list dot get, then I, then semicolon. So if I'm to comment this one and uncomment this one, and then I uncomment this, I comment this, okay, I can leave. Let me just change the name. Like I said, it have to be uncommented all the time. So change the name. So over here I can change the name. So that's okay too. Now I can safely leave them both like this, just as they are. So if I run the code, we get 382. The reason is because it's actually repeating itself twice. Okay, let me get rid of, let me call this one sum 1, sum 2, sum 1. So let's try that again one more time. Create that first of all. Int sum 2 is equal to 0 semicolon. So if we run that again, we get a different result, which is the result we are hoping to get. Now system.out.sum 191. So let's print out both. We're going to do concatenating. So sum 2. Now we get 191. You can see it's working perfectly, just as the other. It's working the same way. So let's learn about the array list. What about the array list? If it was for the sake of the array list, we'll do this. But basically this is solution actually. This solution, removing this sum so we don't actually need them. So this is just the solution which I'll post in the, let me get rid of everything so far. Oh, we already percent our solution, right? So I don't think there'll be need for any of this. Should we just name it for naming sake? My phone posted everything twice, so link list, let me give a space to see the difference. So here if we run it, we are not going to get any errors, still the same. 191. Let me create a linked list now. A linked list, a array list rather, they are similar. The only difference is the name of their class. So linked list is a what? Is a class. We created an instance of it called what? List. Here we want to create an array list, so I'll just say list. I want to create a list of item. I'll say list, and then I'll come here and change the name, because remember, don't repeat a name twice. So in this case I'll say array list. Now it doesn't pop up that errors anymore. So the same way I've added values here using this method, so will I do in this case. So this is for list, and this is going to be for, actually I love to change this to list 2, so we can just blend list 2 list 2 list 2 list 2. So let me change this to 2, then change this to 3 instead. So in this case we added item to the linked list, we added item to our array list, we added item to our array itself, array of numbers. So here we have some 1, some 2, let's create for some 3. So this one is for the linked list. This one belongs to the linked list. Sorry about typo error. My phone is connected to electricity, like I said, linked list. This one is for the array list. So this one is for just the array itself. So let me create one more. So to do this, to solve this, now say sum 2, sum 3. So honestly change this to change this appropriately. So it's going to be this dot get I. So in this case for 3, which is a normal array, it's going to be lists square angle by square bracket then I. So this is how you do it. If it was for any of them, so you just choose this. I'm just doing this for extra knowledge, just in case, based on whichever way the question may come, if it does change. So that's the essence of this whole stuff. That's the essence of it. So let me bring everything closer. We are done. Actually we are done. So if we run this, we are going to, let me print out what we have here. Concatenate %n sum 3. So let's check sum 1 is equal to plus this dot get, this dot get and sum 3. So Oh, there's one more thing I will show you, but just hold on, just in a minute. In some plus in 3 list 3. Okay, yeah, all of them are carrying the same name. Something is definitely wrong. 2, so this is going to be 3. Oh, okay. I don't plan to